want to win something, when you want to strategize and get to somewhere, you have to learn how to manipulate that system. Let's step back a bit. When you have children, I always start with that. When school owners are like, how do we do this? And I said, when you have children, there is no blueprint that comes with children, right? But at the end of the day, you find out that even without being a therapist, without being a psychologist, without being a medical doctor, we know how to navigate and take care of those kids. We're able to, I'm using two screens, so it's like I'm looking two ways, okay? So bear with me. So we're able to handle what comes with those kids because as parents, we put ourselves in the place where we can sit down, analyze the personality of those kids, analyze the difficulties they're facing, and be able to work with them. So when someone, even if you go to a doctor or you go to a professional, you say things like, don't worry, I'm able to take care of this child. Why? Because you've taken your time to understudy the personality of this child. So that is what we're bringing into marketing. So I want all of you to bring your mindset. As a coach, I always tell people, when you come for a training like this, put your mindset in a place to believe, in a place to learn. I know a lot of you know so many things. You have so much information, okay? Just put that information on a pad and keep it beside your table. Tell yourself, I'm here to learn something new. And that is the only way we can go forward. So like I said, the art of school marketing is all about learning, grasping the system, manipulating it to suit you, okay? Now, why is the art of school marketing important in the educational space today? Why do we have to learn it? One of the first things when I meet school owners and even the biggest of schools, and I'm like, what can I do for you today? The first thing they say is numbers. We want to boost the numbers. We want the people to come. And you ask, okay, but you have like 3 buildings, you have 3 streams, you have 5 campuses in different cities. Why are you still looking for numbers? And it boils down to the fact that whether we want to believe it or yes, now I'm not going to say believe it or not. Am I communicating? Can you all hear me? Can you understand me? Hello? Okay. I'm a teacher first, okay? So I want all of you to be in the moment, okay? Ask me questions, put in your comment. Thank you. All right. So like I said, it boils down to the fact that whether we want to believe it or not, because most educators will always say, we are there to impact lives. Okay, you're there to impact life. But as a school owner, you're also there to make profits. And profit comes from the numbers. Am I communicating? So when school marketing is important in the space today because that is where you can boost your business. It's only through marketing you get leads, you get people interested in your school, in whatever you're offering, enough for them to be a part of it by purchasing, by enrolling, by coming back. And it's also through school marketing that you can be able to showcase your strength in such a way that the people that have patronized you in the past, there are people that have gone through your school in the past, but it's only when you keep showcasing yourself that they can look at and be like, yes, my children went to that school. Oh, I was part of that school in the past. Oh, they're still there. Okay. And then they can make referrals. Okay. School marketing is not just about bringing in people. It's showing that you're in that space. It's showing that you're an authority in that space. You cannot sell something you don't have. Before you go out to the marketplace, either a conventional marketplace or a high marketplace, you must have something to offer. And whatever you have to offer has to be something you're proud of. So that is why school marketing is important in the educational space, because we as educators, we have to learn how to showcase ourselves, project ourselves for what we know how to do. So is there really a right path for each school? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And this is also where educators get it wrong. That you open the school in a city or in a rural area does not mean it's only the curriculum. It's only that Indian curriculum, British curriculum, American curriculum, whatever curriculum you're offering, that is not the only reason why you're there. A school serves people, okay? If you're forgetting something today, remember that schools cannot exist, cannot function, cannot deliver results without people. So first and foremost, a school is built for people. Now, who is your school built for? That is one thing. So while we're going through this, ask yourself that question. Who is my school built for? What purpose is my school serving to your immediate community? I was speaking to an educator and I said, when you say you're an international school, when you say you're a global school, you cannot be a global school without being a local school first. There's no way. You must be able to understand the space you're occupying. Who is it serving? Who is looking at you? Whose breath, who wakes up in the morning and your existence makes life easy for them? If you don't have such people in the corner, then you need to re-strategize. We need to go back to the drawing board, okay? That is why we're here today. Now, why are you even here? Okay, oh, there's a typo there. Forgive me, okay? Now, why are you even here? It's part of it. Is there a crowd for each school? Yes, there is. Why are you here? Okay, you also have to process that as we move forward in this meeting. Now, who is this webinar for? I know she's talked about it. I'm trying to run and hurry up because I know your times are very, very important, okay? So I promise to hurry up. If I'm speaking too fast, please just slow me down, okay? Because I'm here to make sure that you understand everything I'm saying. So if I'm being too fast or I roll my tongue in such a way you don't understand what I'm saying, I do that. My kids, I'm going to slow down, okay? So let me know, all right? So I'm here for you. Okay. Now, this is for school managers. I'm not just going to read everything because most people here are people in the place of management and administration in school. So this webinar is for you if you want to move your school from the point where it is to a point where it's, you can slow a little bit. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll slow down a little bit. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that feedback. Now, who is this webinar for? This webinar is for all of you. If you're in this space, don't worry, don't think about it. Something brought you here. When you saw the advert or when Ms. Komar spoke to you, something must have resonated with you. That is why you're in this space today. So it's for someone who wants to craft the right messaging. You want whatever you put out there, the marketing materials, your visibility, your presence, you want your presence to mean something. You want your presence to be in such a way that is attracting the right people to you. Then this is for you, okay? You want to be better than you were because you might be in a good place. I agree that some of us, we're all not in the same space. Some are doing better than the others, both financially, both when it comes to numbers. Some are in different locations. It's okay. Even if your school is a one-room school in a corner in a village, you're good. So far as you're managing the school, if your school is in the middle of the city and you have a whole street to your school name, you can still get better than that. There's always room for improvement. It's only when you lean back, you will move from that whole street to another place. So who am I? Well, I have a lot of stories behind. That's why I put story time, because I have too much. But I'm not going to bug you because we're in this space, and as we go forward, you will get to learn a lot about me. But one thing I would always say is that I got my journey into educational. I've been showcased in the news channel, both in the US and in Nigeria. I'm originally from Nigeria. I schooled in Nigeria before I moved to the US. In my journey as an educator, an administrator, a performance coach, and a branding expert, I've worked with countries between, in fact, let me not say I've worked with countries with continents, okay? That would be blowing it too much, but I've worked with a lot of countries in Africa, between Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, most especially my home country, Nigeria. Now, I live in the US, in Maryland, and that is where Call to Teach headquarters are. We work with school owners to manage their brand, to fine-tune your message, to change things around you. Now, like I said, my journey into education has been divinely orchestrated, okay? Yes, I would say that. I know some people will be like, okay, don't talk about religion, but I will tell you it's divinely orchestrated. My being in this space is not by mistake. I was introduced to this space by my uneducated mother when I thought I was going to be a lawyer. Now, Working as an administrator, I had to open my learning center. I've moved from a class assistant to class teacher to school owner to business owner, and then moved into coaching. So I've seen it all, heard it all, experienced it all. So when I speak with administrators, I'm not speaking as someone who just opened the textbook and decided to research. I've been in a place where it was on my neck to grow a school. I've been in a place where I was praying. I felt it was prayers. If I pray, God will listen and he will attract people to me. But I found out that much as I'm a religious person, God answers prayers, but there are things, there are rules, there are wisdom, there are principles that you have to apply, and things will move and things will work for you. Okay, so I had to learn that. I had to put myself into research. What grows a school? You find some very expensive schools, ridiculously expensive schools, and they have the population. And you find some schools that they are just struggling. They don't even have 2 wings of each class, but still they are struggling to bring people in. What is the difference? Why is this expensive school bringing in people and this cheap school can't even fill up their classes? That really got me worried. That got me wondering, okay, you have some schools where the teachers don't ever leave. And others are complaining, oh, there's high teacher mobility. Teachers keep leaving. We can't even retain our teachers. This all got me thinking, what is going on? What is the secret behind some of the successes these schools are registering that these other ones don't know? Because there has to be something they're missing. And that got me enrolling in the University of California. I had to do my performance teaching program there, and I started researching with other educators and started trying it, because it's one thing for you to learn something, it's another thing to apply that knowledge. I started applying it with the schools I was working with, and we started getting success as early as 1 week, 2 weeks. I had a school that had enrollments as little as within 2 weeks of working with us. And that actually made me happy, because I knew, okay, there must be something we're doing right. And that is what we are bringing to you today. Now, my work experience, I'm not going to dwell on that. I said that earlier. I've worked with a lot of people. Now, what are you going to expect at the end of this? Ms. Kumar already talked about this. Understand your crowd. Know how to reach to them. Understand why you have all these leads coming. They're calling, they're reaching out to you, making inquiry, but it's not converting. What's going on? Okay. Now, learn how to ensure your school stands out from the other private schools. The schools beside you, the schools in your community, the schools in your country. What makes you stand out? When people remember your school name, when they call that name, what comes to their mind? It doesn't matter how much you've pumped into the school. For you to have longevity of your brand, there must be something that resonates with people, that connects to their emotions. See, as we're all sitting down here, if there is no form of emotional connection between us, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't want to attend this. We're humans, we're controlled by our emotion, maybe not to buy, but something must click. So your school must draw out something in people. And if it's not drawing out perfection, quality, expatriate, good education, then it's what else? Then there is nothing that makes you different from every other local school around you. Why would I pay more to be in your school? Why would I want to be a part of your institution? I have 10 schools that are reaching out to me. I have 50 schools on the online in the community. Schools are drawing out advert here and there. Why would I leave them and come to you? So you want to be in that place where you're found attractive. People want to be on your waiting list. They want to be a part of you. That is what we would expect to get at the end of this. And I will always say something, that what applies to A does not apply to B. What we're doing here today, if you expect to get the exact results Dr. Mohan is getting, and then you're lying to yourself. Whatever we're talking about has to be personalized. It has to be internalized first. You digest it, and then you personalize it to suit your school uniqueness. If your school doesn't have a uniqueness, well, that is why we have the branding session. That is why we have the 10 days. Because at the end of this place, I put up a quote that you cannot sell a bad product. When you take a bad product to the marketplace, forget it. So if you're in this place, you don't have a brand, just be taking notes, okay? If you don't even know what you're offering, don't worry, okay? Don't worry, you're in a good place. Take notes, because the notes you're going to take, we're going to use it when we've repackaged you, right? It's like, I have this sheet of paper and I have all these things written on it. There's nowhere to write something new. What would I do? I can always scribble beside it. But if I want to present it and someone says, Mrs. Mary, can you bring the paper you used to jot down the things for the training? I wouldn't want to give them this because it's not well packaged. What would I do? I will take a book that looks nice and I'm going to make it look okay and then put this thing inside it. So that when I present it, they'll say, oh, that was a good put together training. But if I give them this, they'll say, no. Maybe they don't know what you were doing there. That's why you did all this scribbling. So what am I saying in essence? For you to be able to function, if you learn the school of the art of school marketing, if you learn it and when you learn, because let me not say if, when you learn it, so let's change that. When you learn the art of school marketing, and you do not have the right product to market, then you're setting up for failure. What are you selling? What are you showing people? If you put all your arsenals out there and what you're showcasing is a bad school, a school that don't have their house together, you're failing from the beginning, because what you end up doing, like she said, marketing is to attract leads. You're bringing people to come and see all the wrong things in house. You're bringing people to come and see that, oh, this school is not what we expected it to be. So you have to put your house in order. That way, the art of marketing will be effective. It will generate the right kind of the result we're looking for. It will generate the result we're looking for. Assuming you logged into this program, and when you came in, I'm wearing my sleeping cap because it's 6 a.m. here, and I had to wake up and put up a face, make myself look presentable, so that when you come in, you wouldn't see the sleep cap, my face, maybe I have a mask on my face. What would you do? You would tell Miss Kamal, please, next time, don't joke with us. What is that? Is she playing with us? Why? Because we just marketed and brought people in to showcase someone who is not ready to do anything for people. The presentation is all wrong. Does that make sense to you? Does that analogy make sense to you? If you do not package well, it wouldn't make sense. Now let's go back to the art of school marketing. Now, if you do not remember anything in this webinar, take a screenshot of this. You would need it. You would remember it. The sum total of everything we're going to talk about today is on these two things. The art of school marketing begins with understanding and controlling your customer's journey. And the second thing is leveraging touch points. Now, I appreciate the sir that spoke earlier when he said, how you're going to market a school in one place is not the same, okay? Understanding and controlling the customer's journey. Now, what is even the customer's journey? What are we talking about when we talk about, is the customer traveling? Are they moving from India to America, or they're moving from America to India? What are we talking about? Hold on, we'll get to that place. Before we understand the customer's, we'll talk about understand the customer's journey, we need to look at the graph. Where do the customers start from? Now, in the marketing space, in economics, the professionals know that there is, when it comes to the mind of someone who wants to make a purchase, remember that the customer we're talking about is the parent. Much as the consumer is much as the consumer is the child, the learner. The people that make the decision. Can you mute yourself, please? All right. So most times the people that make, when it comes to enrollment from kindergarten to high school, the terminal class in high school, the parents still control what payments are made, most decisions are made. Sometimes when the child says, I want to go to this school, we know how it works. Yes, the parents will listen, but at the end of the day, they are the ones that make the final decision. They are the ones that know what their child actually needs. Most times, the choices of children or the consumers are peripheral. Oh, my friend goes to that school. I like the classes. Everything looks beautiful. Everything looks well managed. But the parent makes the decision of, okay, if my child goes to this school, they will be able to pass their exam. If they go to this school, they'll be able to read at this stage. If they go to this school, I'll be able to pay I can afford to pay the fee. If they go to this school, they have teachers who are so grounded in psychology that they can understand the children and what to do with them. Or the head teacher is a known head teacher. She's worked in 50 schools, and so she's very experienced. The parents are the ones that make such critical decisions. And I know this works for private schools. I took a little time to look at the educational system in India. And I know, and one thing I noticed that private schools, it's beautiful how private schools function, because at the end of the day, the management of private schools all over the world, apart from the licensing that might differ from country to country, but the internal workings are all the same. It's most times the same. The school owner, the board, the teachers, the organogram, everything still falls down the same. It might be a little bit different because of the regulatory bodies and their expectations, but the management, the operations are still the same. Okay, so back to what we're saying. If we want to, the professionals have already mapped out. Before I buy a bottle of water, what is the first thing that happens before I buy a bottle of water? There must be a test. There must be a test. Now, when they're marketing water, what's the first thing you see? You see them roll the water bottle to have, it shows ice, it shows someone drinking and it's going down their throat. Even if you're not thirsty, the first thing that comes to your mind is like, oh, okay, I need cold water. And you're like, can you get me a bottle of water? Why? Because they kind of touch the part of your senses that made you know, okay, I need to get hydrated. So who is your customer? How do they move from where they are to where you want to be? How do they migrate and get to that journey? Hi, Ms. Kumar. Okay, I hope you're all following. I see you're really intrigued. Okay, all right. So I hope I'm not too fast anymore. And like I said, sit with me, please. Nobody should leave, okay? We're still getting to the better part. Trust me, the better part is still ahead, okay? Okay, thank you, Ms. Guneta. Okay, so the better part is still ahead, because this all builds into each other. I'm trying to prepare your mind and get to the place where you understand that it doesn't just happen by chance. It's not just something you wake up, okay, I put this in order, and who is this customer? Who wants you even? Who is looking for you? There has to be someone that is looking for you. Now, before we talk about who your customer is, let's step back a bit. What are you offering? Because by the time you're looking, if I'm looking for my customer, in the office where I am, there are too many things. It can be someone looking for this or looking for this, right? So what is in your hand? What is it your school is offering? Most times when I ask school owners, what are you offering? The first thing they say, oh, we have a purpose-built building. I'm trying to remember some of the things I heard school owners say. We have purpose-built building. We have the best facilities. We have, we use the most modern, the most up-to-date curriculum, where they spoke about things, and I always say something. If I open up this and say, everybody, can you tell me what you're offering? Half of you are offering the same thing. That is what I'm going to hear. Or half of you will say, oh, we have the most experienced teachers that can deliver the Indian curriculum in such a way that the teachers will understand. We have the British curriculum. The British curriculum, everybody is using the British curriculum, okay? So hold it back. Everybody is using the American curriculum. Hold it back. Most school owners that are ready to do business, they have purpose-built buildings, right? They have classrooms that they have modified. If you talk about, okay, we offer robotics, we have high-tech labs. Okay, it's good, it's wonderful. But what else? What else are you offering? I said something, I'm going to leave that to you because it's not something you're going to answer here, all right? Because when you're talking about marketing, you must have something that is different from what everybody is offering. I don't care what it is. I've always said that sometimes there was something I noted down here while we were talking, and I said, you cannot, and I think I mentioned it, you cannot serve an international community when you do not know how to serve your local community. It's not possible. If you cannot serve the people around you, let's even start with the locality, the city. You're in the middle of a big city, and the bigger the community you're serving, the more challenging it is to define exactly what you're doing. Okay, so when you're saying that, okay, my strategy has to be different, I agree. But strategy for what? What are you offering? I've told schools that sometimes you live in a community where people, what they require, they are not, okay, let me dress back. If you are a school, and because everybody is offering robotics, everyone is offering language polishing, okay? Everyone is offering computer classes, okay? I'm trying to touch points on things that people do globally. And the people in your community, the people around you, their socioeconomic status does not permit for that kind of education. I don't care where the world is going to, they will not come to you. The next school that opens behind them, that is offering skill acquisition, that is teaching them how they can make clothes, that is teaching them how to make beads, how to do makeup, how to make jewelries, that they can sell and make money, they will take over the market. They will blossom. Why? Because they are preparing that community for the immediate needs. If your parents or the people, okay, look around you as I'm talking, envision, okay? Think about the people around you. What do they need? What is it that they are asking for? You that live in that area, what is one thing? What is that pain point that this is something that is really, really bothering you? What is that thing? Let me give you an instance. I am a Nigerian living in America. Every school is good. Every school offers the best when it comes to education. Most of the schools. Now, if any school is not offering it, it has to do with internal issues, maybe the staff or the leadership. But when it comes to facilities, they all have it. There's provision for it. What will make me choose a school? Outside the fact that I might have to consider proximity. Why would I go to a school that is an hour away from me when a school that is 15 minutes away from me offer the same thing? Okay. I will start looking at things like language immersion. Okay. If a school say they're offering Igbo, which is my language, okay, my ethnic language, what do you think I will do? I will be there before you wink an eye, right? It might not look like something big, but that is something people are looking for. If there's someone that is teaching, because the area where I live, we have a lot of Nigerians in it. If someone positions and says, okay, I'm going to offer something that has to do with Nigerian culture, everybody will hop onto it. Likewise, where you are, what is it that they want? I'm going to leave it to you. Ask yourself, think about it. What is it that they want that you want to cover, you want to give them? Now, when you think about that, who is that target? You've identified what you want to give them. I want to give them this. So who wants this? Right? They are merged up together. You have to know what you can give them. You're not going to borrow from other schools. Oh, because this school is offering this, this is what I want to offer. Look around you. What is their pain point? What can I offer in this community or in this city that would serve them? And then you can identify exactly the people that want it. Because when you identify the people that want it, all the efforts you're making, all the marketing effort, you're not trying to understand everybody. You have identified the particular customer that is in that place. Like this program you're in now. Everybody here, the customers we're looking for, the people we're targeting are school administrators, right? Because we're offering a package that will help school administrators position to be seen, make decisions that will make their school be visible, that is our product. Who is the target? School administrators. If we bring in a school teacher that does not make any management decisions for any school, you're just a classroom teacher into this place, don't be gone before we say Jack, because even if they learn this, they can't make any decision that will change their school. Am I communicating? They can't make any decision that will change their school. So that is why you have to identify who you're talking to, what I have, who am I giving it to. Now we start controlling the awareness touch points. What do we mean by awareness touch points? Your awareness touch point, the touch point are the points of interaction between you and the customers, between you and the consumers. Now, I'm bringing in consumers now because some parents depend on their children to suggest the schools they take them to. So you may want to position in a place where you can be seen. If we want to market, if we want to understand our customers, if we want to control the way they see us, where are we going to? Some schools are located in areas where the target audience, remember that the customer is the target audience. The person you're selling to, where are they? You want to control what they're saying about you. Where do they meet? Some schools have told them that, see, there's no need being on social media. Don't even bother, because your target audience, they don't even, if you are serving a rural populace where the parents are just engrossed in making ends meet, because not every school serves the high-end community. We have our persona. We have how much they want to make. We know what they want to sell. So those parents, where are they? Where are they hanging out? Are they hanging out on social media? What is it about them that you want to reach? Where would you reach them? If they're on social media, that means that you have to strategize in such a way that you're able to control what they see about you on social media. Now, when I was putting this, I was like, some parents read blogs. Some parents don't have social media, but they use search engines. That means you have to optimize your website, your blog, so that when they search for schools in your locality, they will be able to see you. Because first of all, they have to see you. You have to know that I exist before you ask me what next, right? So you have to control and be sure that are they even seeing you before you ask, okay, when they see me, what do they think about? Now, ask yourself. I always like practical classes. Most of my classes are practical classes. First of all, we've talked about what you're offering. So you can note that down. What am I offering? If you're not sure, no problem. Just note it down, because it builds into each other. Like I told you, we keep getting to the best part. As we're going, we're building it up, and we're getting to the part where we understand, like, aha, this is what I really wanted, okay? Now, what is your touch point? Your touch point might actually be the place of worship.
I'm not applicable in also Roman note. You B.Ed चाहिए, qualification चाहिए.
Or teacher.
Ms. Rohan, are you talking to me or you're having a conversation? Okay, you can put that in the comment section. That way I would be able to, that way I can respond to you, okay? If you have messages as we're going, please put it in the comment section, and that way I would not slow down. I wouldn't take time trying to respond to you, and I would attend to it immediately once that it pops up, okay? Now, like I said, what are your touch points? That everybody is on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, does not mean you have to be there. No. I understand that we live in a world that is out there. It's about technology. It's about social media. But who are you serving? Are they even there? Let me use myself for an instance. When I started marketing my services virtually, I went out to Facebook and I marketed on Facebook. And I noticed that my crowd was not on Facebook when it comes to the Nigerian market. The people, the demographic of Nigerian school owners that would listen to me, that would want to take up the advice I'm giving, they were not on Facebook. They were on Instagram. So it took a little bit of mastery for me to get to that place. But you have to ask, as a school owner, what kind of parents are you targeting? What kind of parents do you want? Where do they work? Now, when we go into the rebranding, when we do the 10 days rebranding, one of the things that we map out is we try to do a persona, okay? We do a persona of your brand. Who is your ideal person? We give them a name. It's like a project. We give the person a name. Mr. Des. This is his name, okay? Mr. Ajit is an ideal father of our school. Okay, I'll get to that place. What would be if people, okay, we'll get to that place. If you, okay, we give a persona of the person. We look at how much, what is his financial status? What is the financial status of this person? Where does this person go to? Okay, what kind of, what is their socioeconomic status? These are the things we look into. Now, if we draw up this persona, we ask ourselves, if this person is not a social media person, where can they be? Now, let me ask you, where can your parents be? I found out that parents can be anywhere from the worship place to the shopping malls, to the markets. Everyone wants to be international. Everyone wants to be up there. But like the person that put the question, I would not be able to tell you exactly where your parents are. Your parents can be in the mall. Yes. Because everybody goes to the mall. Most people go to fast foods, right? Most people go to the temples. Most people go to the churches. So these are places you can meet them. Most people go to the clubs. I've had a parent and I said, where do your, she said her target parents are bankers, people that do 9 to 5. And most times they don't even have time to go on social media and look around for schools. And I said, okay, when they wind down from work, where do they go to? She's like, okay, most times they go to the clubs to hang out. Sometimes they go to the sports club. That's where they spend most of their times. Now look, ask yourself, the people in my community, where do they hang out? I wouldn't be able to give you that answer. You will be able to find that out, because if I tell you, okay, you know what, if they're not on social media, go to the temples and look for them. Go to the stores and look for them. You might not have that with you. Like, that's why I said, personalize the experience in such a way that it would attend to exactly what your target audience are looking for and where they are. Because every time people have gone out there to find out where the parents are, then you can control the word of mouth. Touch points can be anywhere. It can be the blog. It can be the website. It can be social media. It can be in person. It can be face-to-face. But when you know where to go, you won't be going out there and doing jamborees. You see some schools that put teachers in buses and put marketers in buses and they're throwing flyers all over the place. It's a waste of time. You know why it's a waste of time? Some of them might say, okay, offline. Some of them might say, if my parents, my target audience are not online, that is why I'm doing this jamboree. That's why I'm sharing flyers. Well, the street where you're sharing the flyers are the people on that street, prospective parents, customers. Are your parents in the markets? Go to the market gates. Go into their stores and share your flyers to them there, because that's where they are. Set up a booth in the marketplace and educate them and tell them, set up seminars, set up consultation booths in person, in front of fast foods, in areas, in hotel, in hotel lobbies, okay? In conference centers where they come in to have meetings. Set up your consultation booths there where they can come in and ask questions and get results about your school. Does that make sense? You have to go out there strategically and position where they would see you and they will understand what you're doing. Just the way you go on social media and you put pictures of what you're doing on social media and everybody is seeing. Then have pull-up banners, have things you can put up and they can see them. That's what you have to do. So let me not stand on this. If you have more questions on this, we can keep going. Now, crafting the message, like I said, you know where they are. What kind of message are you going to put out there? Are you just going to drop flyers and throw it out to them? Remember, where are we coming from? We said you need to understand your customer's journey. And understanding your customer's journey, because you have noted them, what do they want to hear? If a parent in your community, what you want them to hear is, what you want them to see, you know that their pain point is that the people here, they want their kids to pass international exams where they can move to international schools, they can get admission to international schools. Then you have to position and speak that language. You're not going to be marketing computer software to them. No, you're going to talk about this exam. You're going to show your professionalism, your expatriates, your expertise in handling such exams. That is what you're going to talk about. What is your strength? If the parents are concerned about the security of the kids in that locality, then you're going to showcase, your messaging has to be something that tilts towards security, that tilts towards the kind of security outfits you're using, the kind of classrooms you have, the measures you have in place to safeguard the kids. That is what they want to hear. So if you're setting up a booth, instead of putting up a roll-up banner or putting up a screen behind that shows your beautiful classrooms and your uniforms, you're talking about those exams, those specific exams. You know that this is my strength, and I want these parents to see that these exams are our strength. That is what you're going to be showcasing on those banners. Your language has to be exactly what they want to hear, because you're generating that lead. For you to generate that lead, like we do on social media, we put, if it's on social media, you craft a beautiful message and a flyer and put out there that will make people ask questions about you. In person, the same thing. Your flyers wouldn't just be one flyer that has everything in it. Beautiful classroom, experienced teachers, and you have all these things put together. No, it has to be something catchy. Your marketing materials, your screen displays has to be a message that they would see and be like, oh, really? They do this here? It can be different materials in different places, but whatever you're putting out there, whoever, now let me say something. Some schools do not have enough finances to have elaborate marketing materials to put out there. Your marketer is your marketing material. The person you're sending out there has to be able to represent you. You would not say, because I don't have enough funds to put it in my marketing. The person has to understand your message. So when you are talking about crafting your message, you have to sit the person down and make them understand what your school stands for and be able to answer questions when it comes to the things you offer and how you're going to serve them. Does that make sense? Hello, Ms. Charu, was I able to address that question? Okay. Now, position to nurture. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. Now, position to nurture. You've put out those things out there. Another thing you have to understand in the customer's journey. Now, I'm mixing up the customer's journey and what you're expected to do, thank you, at that point, at each point of the journey. The first part of the journey is where the customer is still, they don't even know they have a problem. They're just moving around. They're just walking around. Now, for you to be able to bring them in, then you have to nurture that interest. What does this customer want? They've asked you questions, and now they've shown interest. Maybe they've even made a call. They've reached out to you. How are you going to bring them in? A lot of school owners are so interested in marketing, paying people to put out their materials out there, paying teachers that will deliver them in the classroom. They do not particularly pay attention to who handles the flow of information within their institution. When the calls come in, I don't know, a lot of schools, most times when I give these instances based on experiences I've had with schools. Who handles your calls? Who gives out information? When someone finds you on the internet, finds your marketing materials, finds your children, finds the students of your school, and picks interest because of their output, you get recommendation. Who talks to these people? Who handles the follow-up. Do you even follow them up? I have schools that said, oh, last year we had 50 inquiries. So far as you've had people that ask questions about you, you have to follow them up to the end of the year. That they didn't come back doesn't mean that they're not interested in you. But if you leave them, the other people will take them. We have people, oh, how do I convert this leads to us? That is where sales take place. Okay. And when I was going through this, and I said something that nurturing, you have to showcase value. You have to show them, okay, you want us, this is exactly what we can do for you. You have to show them that, see, we're interested in helping you as much as you're interested in coming to us. Most schools feel because parents come to them, because these customers pay attention to you, and you have all these people coming in, you have your classrooms filled, that makes you better than the others. No, you have to show this parent, people go where they are wanted. So when people come into the periphery of what you're doing, of your school, you also have to show them that you're interested in what they're doing. You're interested in what they're you're interested in them as much as they're interested.
Ma'am, ये doubt है Komal का, do you teach options and futures?
Yes, absolutely. So you started.
Okay. Ms. Kumar, is that a question?
No, that wasn't the question.
Okay. All right. So I can go ahead, right?
Yes, you can go.
Okay. Okay. Now, in the place of nurturing is where you differentiate yourself from others. Someone has come into you. Show them that, okay, I am different. We've showcased we're going to do this. You're going to personalize the experience. When people come into your space, listen to them. I know you have a lot to offer, but the difference is in how you can apply your offering specifically to what that family needs. Who is answering the question? When a parent comes in and they tell you what they're offering, what they want, what their problem is, you have to find a way to adapt it, to draw it in, give them back something that will make them know that they're in the right place. Just like the picture I put out there, you water a plant, you put manure, you put fertilizer, you put in things that will help it grow. That is also the way you're going to nurture the experience of these parents with you to a point where they know that this is exactly what we need for our child, for our consumer at this time. Now, give me a minute. All right. So understanding the target audience, their enrollment journey, and what to do at each stage will definitely make you positioned to be their target destination. When you understand them and understand their interests, at what point, when do they even want to register their children? When do they want to change schools? I always say that the decision to change schools, to move from school to school, always starts at the second term. Okay, the second quarter of the school year. So when you position that, okay, school has resumed, let me give it a month, let me give it 2 months, you start shooting, you start putting materials out there. So that by the time the school year is winding up and the parents are ready, they're looking for you. You be in their face so that when you understand, okay, this is where they are, let me move them. And they're asking questions about you, and you're nurturing, you're following them up, you're giving them incentives, because part of nurturing is giving them incentives. Make them know, okay, this school is giving you this, we can give you discount, we can give you, we have value-added services, we can let your kids stay more, we have extra curricular activities that some of the schools are not offering, we have exam preparation classes that they are offering, we have skill classes that we're offering, we have all these things are the things that keep building up, then you can be your target destination. Hello? At this point, like I've been going on my own. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Does anybody have any questions? Now, when I was researching on this topic, all these years, this particular piece by Harbaugh is something that I've always thought about. For you to master the act of, I put that right time because it has to do with location, being at the right place at the right time. Okay, the right product. What are you offering? Are you in the right place? The product you're offering, remember I said you have to serve the local before you serve the international. If you bring in an international school and spend all the money in the world, and then you go position that school in a place that is not accessible, how do you think people will come to you? Do you understand? They can only come to you if part of what you're offering is going to give them burden. Why am I bringing up this? Because a lot of school owners think because you have the money, you can always be anywhere. No, you can't be everywhere. You can't be everywhere. You have to be that person where you are at that point in time, you're able to serve them. And then as you're growing, some schools start in very rural areas. They start in very rural areas, places that you don't have a lot of people. And they grow as they're expanding, they expand their reach to places where they can deliver different types of services. So you can have 3 schools, 3 campuses of the same school, but you don't offer the same school, the same product. You don't have the same price. Why? Because you serve different people. 2 schools can never be the same. 2 schools might have the same product, but there has to be a uniqueness that will distinguish them from each other. So what am I saying at the end of the day? Schools do not just patronize you. Now I'm trying to reflect on my own because we spent all this time. We spent all this time. In all the years I've had results with schools, what are the most profound things that they have done that have made their schools work? And one thing I found out that have really worked for them is that they understand their customers, they understand school marketing, they understand how they can personalize it, utilize it, and strategize to use it for their own good. These customers, where are they? What are they doing? What is the psychographic of these customers? What are they thinking? What is in their head? Okay, you have to step into their shoes. I'm not going to sit down here and tell you, okay, just print more flyers, go on social media. No, they all work. Everything works. Posting on social media works. Having a website works. Having a blog works. Going to the streets to advertise, it works. But you cannot do all of them. There has to be one of them that works for you. And you will only know the one that works for you when you understand who you're reaching out for, who you're targeting. When you understand who you're targeting, when you understand the kind of thing you're giving out to them, then you would know how to follow them. When they come to you during the nurturing process, you already understand, okay, this is how this kind of customers think. You'll be able to attend to them, answer questions that are personalized to meet their needs. Now, I'm always not trying to push things. Now you have all this information, okay? You have all this. Now, I'm going to say something before I say, let's work together to make your brand work, because your brand is going to work if you know the right thing to do. It's not about who says, well, that's why we have professionals in strategic places at every point in time. I've worked with different schools. Some of them, believe me, a lot of schools have mastered this and they did it on their own. Some, they needed help. But one thing I would say, like I said at the beginning, great marketing only makes a bad product fall faster. If you know your customers and you know what they want and you're offering it to them and you're going out exactly to where they are, reaching out to them, going out to the parking lots, to the markets, to the mosques, to the churches, to the shrines, to wherever, to the gatherings, to the clubs, and you're sitting down there and you're talking to them and they're like, wow, you have all that, you can help us? Okay, we're coming. And they want to know more information about you. And they come in to meet a house that is upside down. They come in to meet a school that is not prepared to attend to its ideal clients. You might know who they are, but you're not ready. Your structure is not in place. The curriculum you said you're offering them is not even there. Your teachers are not trained to deliver on that promise you're offering them. So when they ask you, like, oh, did they say they're going to do that? Well, we're not doing that now. We did it last time, but this session, we're not really doing it. Then it's going to be a problem. Because that school, how would you go back and tell those customers, those parents, oh, yes, we're better now? Are you understanding? Because you're already leaving a bad taste in their mouth. You told them you're good, and they came in thinking you're good, only for them to find out that you're not even ready. Your curriculum is haphazard, your policy is not in place, your classrooms are dirty, your teachers are not trained, your brand is just off. So what would you think? They would tell you, okay, thank you, we'll come back next time. Well, don't worry, we'll get in touch with you. Would they get in touch? They will not get in touch. It would take a lot. It would take you would have to do a brand overhaul for them to see that you've changed. Because the fact they're still seeing that beauty, they'll be like, is that not how they told us to come the other day? And when we came, there was nothing for us. So before you put yourself out there, you must get to a place where you are ready to launch. You're ready for people to see you. If you're inviting visitors to your house, because the idea of marketing is to lure people in, right? To draw them in and then convert them to people that will register with you, okay? So before you lure them in, your house must be in order. Your brand must be top-notch. And that is the idea behind the rebranding, okay? The 10 days rebranding. We've been going on and on and on and on about it. I'm going to get you to ask as much